G'day geeks, my name is Chris and I have accidentally deleted the video in which I would normally show the unopened boxes or packaging of what I'm about to show. So, I do have the card backs, so that'll do. Let's have a look at some Masters of the Universe Origins figures. Here's Trapjaw in his cartoon accurate colours. All of them have very simple designs and very bright and bold colours, very much like the animation was at the time. Trapjaw here comes with 2 accessories for his kind of cyborg arm. The vintage figure came with 3, so he's missing a bit of the claw that would normally come, but they've only chosen to give him 2. And there's a belt loop, so he can fit the one that's not in his arm on the belt loop on the back there. And the accessory just plugs out, so yes, he can have the gun or the hook, and it's just a matter of sliding it in, and both have the hook on there for the back of the belt. So even though he doesn't have 3 accessories as is standard for most Trapjaw figures, he does come with a little gem that he is holding, which is pretty cute and cool. So that's a bit of a gem, and if you flip the backing card over, so they all have a similar 80s themed backing card with the Castle Grayskull on the back, and you can have a look, and it says that this is the Eternium Rock as seen on the double-edged sword episode. So they all come with episode specific accessories, which is a very nice touch indeed. Like all Masters of the Universe Origins figures, including the Subline cartoon collection, he comes with a mini comic, much like the vintage figures did. Very simple mini comic, and it also comes with a little kind of thing that shows you, a little fold out that shows you that all of these parts are removable or modular in some capacity. So yeah, the jaw just fits in his hand, and his jaw is also articulated, which is a nice touch. So his jaw can move up and down. He's got the standard articulation, the waist to swivel. So yes, the wrists, the elbows, all that kind of stuff. The head moves. So a lot more articulation than the 80s vintage figures. And he looks very bright and stands out well. Very, yes, classic villain colours from the TV show. It's impossible not to look at Beastman, the savage henchman, and think of his buffoonery, growly voice from the 80s cartoon show. He comes with a rather chunky accessory, Hover Ray, which is from the episode The Dragon Invasion, as stated on the back of the card. So he just holds these with 2 hands. It's a pretty chunky accessory. I like it. Comes, like with Trapjaw, also comes with the little sheet which says which parts of him you can remove, because they're all modular. And it comes with a different mini comic. This is the Mask of the Magi mini comic, which has some cool artwork on it as well. Yes, very awesome figure, very classic cartoon colours, and very poseable, just like all the other figures. And you'll notice the classic vintage whip that he comes with the weird chunky handle, which all of the Beastman figures have come with, even the more modern ones, because this accessory is just a mould from Big Jim, a line of action figures from Mattel in the 70s. They just use this whip just to save tooling costs. And even though it's an impractical looking handle for a whip, Beastman has used it in pretty much all of his action figure incarnations over the last 40 years. So very bright, very simple, very cartoon accurate Beastman. Now onto one of the good guys, Stratos, or Stratos, one of them. I say Stratos. He is a bearded guy in Superman colours. He has a jetpack, he has wings, he's always been one of my favourites, and he has cool goggles as well. So Stratos is a basically winged do-gooder, and he lives up in the clouds and whatnot, and he comes with the staff of Avion. He also comes with the familiar modular part swapping, the mini comic, and obviously the back is familiar as well. You may notice that some of the details here are different, and this is because Stratos here is the European version. So there's actually no English on any of the packaging, really, apart from like character names and brand names. And that's because, as I said, he's the European version. So all of the Mattel Master of the Universe figures, that Origins figures, including the cartoon collection that are sold in European countries, apparently don't have English on them. So that way they can be sold in any language, effectively. So even the mini comic is just pictures only, no words. There's no instructions on the back of the card back. Not that you need it anyway. It's a pretty simple figure. And yes, so I couldn't find Stratos on any of the retail shelves here in Australia, so I picked him up on the cheap from eBay. It did say European version on the listing, but I thought, it doesn't matter. It's still the same figure. So yes, here is the Winged Warrior Stratos. Very cool indeed. Triclops here is one of the classic original henchmen serving Skeletor, and this is not part of the cartoon collection, but it is part of the Masters of the Universe Origins line. So here he looks like his original vintage toy rather than he did in his cartoon appearances. He has all the standard accessories, i.e. one green sword, the same colour as his cool little vest, and a holster to put his sword in. And the wonderful Masters of the Universe naming convention continues, because he has 3 eyes, so obviously he's called Triclops rather than one eye Cyclops. So yeah, Triclops, 3 eyes, makes sense. Each of the eyes has a different ability, so he can like see in the dark, he can see through or around things, and he can see like far away, like telescopic vision, depending on his needs. And he can also fire energy or optic blasts, I believe, from his 3 eyes. So yes, very, very much like the vintage action figures as the Origins line are, but obviously a lot more articulation, and the modular pulling apart continues. I found this at Big W, but it is also the European version, so it has the mini comic with no text inside, but very, very awesome nonetheless. So that is Triclops, rounding out the 3 villains from this Masters of the Universe Origins haul. I've had Merman and Teela for a while now. I think they were a couple of the first figures that I got from the Masters of the Universe cartoon collection, and I believe I found both on retail shelves at Big W, which is a nice surprise. Again, very cartoon specific accessories. Teela comes with a training droid, I think, of sorts. And yes, very cartoon accurate colours and appearance and design as well. So that means now I've got all 4 figures on the back here: Teela, Trapjaw, Merman and Stratos. I don't think I'll bother getting any of the other 4 figures here: Skeletor, Man-at-Arms, He-Man and Beastman. I've got Beastman obviously, but I don't think I'll get any of the others from the first wave of figures because, well, I've got enough variations of those figures. But yes, here we are, Merman and Teela. As I said, the Masters of the Universe Origins line is modular, so you can take apart most of the figures, feet and heads and arms and torsos, and mix and match if you so desire, creating such colourful monstrosities as these 2 here. For some fun size comparisons, here's the Origins cartoon collection figures at the back: Beastman, Merman and Stratos, and some other variations of these classic figures I have. These are made by the company called the Loyal Subjects, and they're basically big heads, small limbs, very cartoon kind of action figure accurate, a bit of a blend of the two, and they all come with weapons and little file cards as well. So these are made by, yes, the Loyal Subjects, and they do these for other figures like I think G.I. Joe, Thundercats, etc. Very, very cute, and you can see how similar Beastman is there, just with his Origins counterpart. Merman, again, the colours are slightly different, but this is more of the vintage figure rather than the cartoon version. And just looking at him, how close up like this, he's pretty terrifying, even though he wasn't really that scary in the cartoon. But anyway, and then on the far left we have Stratos, and I don't have a Loyal Subjects figure for him, but this is made by Mattel. These are Eternia minis. So Eternia minis, they made a few of them, Mattel, and basically they're, well, first of all, they're very difficult to stand up by their spindly little legs, but some limited articulation and pretty detailed and colourful as well. And you can see how similar he looks to Stratos there. He's going to fall down, I can feel it. Yep. But yes, there you go. Some fun little size comparisons of other versions of these classic animated characters. And just finishing this video off with a few more comparisons. So on the right we have the Trapjaw. So this is the Loyal Subjects Trapjaw. He comes with all of his usual accessories and hooks on the back of his belt to store them. Again, articulated jaw and quite detailed and articulated for how small the figures actually are. So yeah, very, very cute and very detailed. So if you can see these from Loyal Subjects, grab them. You can see how similar the colours are. And at the back we have the Masterverse Trapjaw, which is the larger scale, more adult collector market. The Masterverse is like basically the premium version of all these figures. So a lot more detailed, you can see. It comes with the traditional accessories as well, plus a few more like the sword. And just look at that, you know, how detailed that is on all the rusty and the metal and chompy claw, all that. So yes, the Masterverse versions of the He-Man figures and Masters of the Universe figures are like the idealized version. So updated decoration, updated design, very cool. And yes, here is the classic Triclops, not from the Origins collection, but also from the, sorry, not from the cartoon collection, but the Origins line. And here's his little buddy. Here's the Loyal Subjects. Again, very detailed for this scale. The eyes still turn. He's got the hook on the back for his sword. So it's pretty fun to see all of these together, how similar yet different they look.